He is a seasoned empowerment artist and is on a mission to help develop billions of healthy, wealthy people. I'm delighted to welcome and have a conversation with Rob Howze on Small Talk. I'm your host, Javed Khan. Rob Howze, empowerment artist. Welcome to Small Talk.
Javed, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, folks, don't adjust your video screens or don't adjust what I'm going to say to you. But Rob is not Superman. Well, I love that. I love that outfit, Rob. Thanks.
Some days, man. Some days I feel like Superman embodied me for a minute because I don't know how I got through it.
I love it. I love it. So Rob and I have connected recently here on LinkedIn and on some of the other social channels, and I'm excited to have Rob, you on the show because you are crushing it everywhere, specifically focusing on making people not only healthy, but also wealthy in their daily lives. And there's a formula that you've come up with that I love to have you share with the audience, and that it's called the self-fulfillment formula. There's some elements, folks, to this self-fulfillment formula that I would love, Rob, for you to share with our audience.
Well, you just upgraded it because it was the fulfillment formula, and you just made it. You personalized it. So thank you for that. So I want you to think about this formula, and we'll call it a fulfillment formula because ultimately we all want to be fulfilled in whatever area we desire, whether it's business, our relationships with our spouse, our children, our world, right? Football, sports, whatever it is, you want to accelerate and have your totality at the highest level. How do you do that? And the only reason why I know I'm not a genius, I failed enough times and paid attention. See, folks, it's the magic in failing and actually being awake while you're failing. And that's one of the ingredients is self-reflection. Okay, so these three ingredients, Javed, real simple. I mean, if you do this, the daily practice, you are guaranteed to have fulfillment in whatever area of life that you desire. And it's daily self-reflection, course correction, and humility. These three ingredients make up the fulfillment formula. And so I can talk I can talk the entire time, but I'm going to break to see if you're going to breathe with me, because I don't know if I'm explaining the totality or you want to ask questions as I explain.
No, it's interesting. No, absolutely. Let's break this down. So, and I love this because, folks, as you're watching this on the video version of Small Talk or you're listening to it as part of the podcast version, either way, pause after every time Rob goes through these three areas. So, Rob, let's go right deeper into what this formula really looks like. And more importantly, how can this be applied and how can people, after watching or listening to the show, apply to their daily lives right away?
Oh, this is great, man. This is like, the app and you download from your phone, instant, boom. But
yes,
quicker than that. You don't have to go to a phone. It's here.
Right.
So let's conceptualize this. The first ingredient in the fulfillment formula is self-reflection. Now, self-reflection means you are doing a daily self-introspection of yourself and also self-reflection on the world around you, how you're being perceived, how you are showing up. In my relationship with my wife, I was showing up in a certain way, and I never knew how I was really showing up in her eyes until I self-reflected. And self-reflection means you're looking at how people are responding to you and really analyzing it, not judging. And self-reflection allows you then to course correct, which is hand in hand. It's like the left and the right. It's the combination. Because once you self-reflect, so I realized, wow, so she's responding in a certain way that I don't know why she's responding this way. Let me stop for a second. Oh, I'm not speaking her love language at all because I'm reflecting on what she wants. Course correction says, okay, well, how do I speak her love language? Well, she loves flowers and cards. She loves date night. Next thing you know, she starts giving me love I never saw from her because through my pour, she poured. But that started from my own self-reflection and course correction. But I would have never had any of that if I wasn't humble. See, humility is the driving force because if you can self-reflect, if you're not humble, you're going to see the wrong thing, right? Or you're going to see what you want to see, which is not really where you need to be. Humility means you're putting other people before you, Javed. It's hard to do because, look, when I'm hungry, I want to eat. You know what I'm saying? I want to eat. When I'm thirsty, I want to drink. I mean, really, we are for survival purposes. But when it comes to relationships and when it comes to growing back to fulfillment, you have to be humble to absorb what's really there for you. So daily self-reflection, course correction, and humility.
So when people are watching or listening to this, how then can they take this and apply it right away? Like what is that? I would suggest, like, what's that one actionable item someone can take right away and start applying this formula?
Immediately start to meditate. Meditate is not going to the top of the Himalayan mountains and sitting in a certain way to get the breeze. You can if you want. That's a cool thing to do. But meditation is just stopping for a second. I call it a power pause. And it's simply, a power pause is simply 5 seconds in through the nose, 5 seconds out through the mouth. And all you're doing is concentrating on the breath. Now, this is why this is amazing, because it makes the mind focus in a singularity. It allows you to remove everything else, all the distractions, and for one moment, just have a clear mind. When you have a clear mind, you think differently. You can't unlearn or unfeel what you feel. So the first thing someone could practice is begin to start meditating, right? Start meditating means take some time in silence, no noise, just you. Out in nature is great. The beach is amazing. And when you do this, then immediately go into self-reflection. Immediately go into where you are in life, the people around you, and start to take note and start to plan to take more note about how you are being perceived by the people around you, how you are using the thoughts in your mind. Sometimes the biggest enemy is the inner me, the inner critic. And so, but self-reflection allows you, again, to see all those things. So meditation right into self-reflection. And there, watch this. We have 70,000 thoughts a day, Javed. 70,000 thoughts, and that's for the minimum. You know, it goes further than that. This is scientifically proven, psychologically dated. 70,000 thoughts. Meditation removes all of them.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So folks, got Rob Howze, empowerment expert, artist, amazing individual. One of the reasons about the Small Talk Show that I love is we start conversations with people. If you've got an opportunity, and you will have an opportunity to continue that conversation, his contact information has been on the screen through the show. Plus, if you're listening to the podcast version, his information is in the session description. Please reach out to him and connect with him. This guy is crushing it on the various social channels that I've seen, specifically LinkedIn. Amazing stuff. So connect in with him. Now, Rob, I've got a question for you. Yeah. If you had, Rob, an opportunity to have a small talk conversation with anyone, living or past,
wow,
who would it be?
Well, I have the 12 that I would talk to for sure, with the round table has been set. But the first one to come through the door would be Jesus Christ.
Wow, really?
Jesus Christ. Really, because Jesus Christ has done more than anyone that I have studied in regards to what I appreciate. I mean, you're not saying he's better than anybody, but for my own appreciation, raising people from the dead is pretty amazing. You know, giving sight to the blind is pretty amazing. Walking in love is pretty amazing. It's like some amazing things. And I believe that Jesus has some answers. Because I believe that
he had more than some answers, I'm telling you that.
You know what I mean? He got some answers.
Yeah. No, and I say it's amazing and unbelievable, because you are now the third guest of ours who has answered with Jesus Christ as the answer of that person they'd like to have a small talk conversation with.
Wow.
Living their past. Amazing. Rob, hey, it has been a pleasure and fun to have you on Small Talk. Thank you for coming on the show.
David, this was a great experience, man. Thank you, brother.
Thank you to Rob Howze for joining me on Small Talk. You can also listen to the show as part of our podcast series. Now it's your turn. Please comment, subscribe, and share. If you've got a topic you'd like to discuss on the show, please give me a call or send me an email. We'll talk with you next time.